the one-stop, easy and elegant movie ratings experience. Stop wasting your time on bad movies and download the world's best movie ratings app from the iTunes App Store now.
Hi everyone, this is Ahmed Karimli and welcome to Be Efficient TV. The mission of this web TV show is to boost the efficiency of your business and life through tips and tricks from leading experts. And today I have with me Cody Hawk. He is an entrepreneur, marketer, and reseller. He is an expert in selling products on Amazon and eBay. Welcome to the show, Cody.
Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you. So from construction to internet marketing, why and how?
Well, I started off in construction. I guess I felt it was the path I needed to go down. I was actually a fifth generation carpenter. So it was kind of one of those things that it was kind of built into me from a young age, always working with my hands, always building stuff. And so I ended up as a carpenter, but quickly, I built a construction business and quickly found out I wasn't happy doing that. I loved doing it, but it wasn't my passion, what I wanted to do with my life. So I went from that to building online businesses in my mid-20s.
What's the difference between active income, passive income, and semi-passive income? And is that was the motive for you to do this transition?
Yeah, I mean, one of the big things I wanted to have the ability to do is leverage my time. And so with active income, I coach a lot of people, internet marketers, resellers, people selling on Amazon FBA. So active income typically is when you are actively out there pursuing income. Most people are active in their jobs. And then with semi-passive income, the great thing about some of the platforms I sell on, like Amazon FBA, for instance, is I have the ability to buy products and utilize their distribution center and their fulfillment center. And so I've got to put in a little work, but once I build up my inventory, my income is semi-passive. And then, of course, with passive income, typically websites, things of that nature, you have the ability to build something up, put a lot of work into something. Once you've built it up, then you pretty much just have maintenance, so it's semi-passive. So I've kind of built multiple income streams in multiple areas.
Like what?
Well, I do a lot of stuff, like you said, with Amazon FBA. So I have multiple e-commerce platforms I sell on. I'm a business coach, so I work with a lot of people. And then I've also built several different websites. So I have the ability to churn out income on a consistent basis based on when people utilize these websites. So I sell everything from Kindle books, ebooks, digital products, and physical products.
Which one worked for you the most, like niche sites or selling physical products on eBay or Amazon?
Which one is like my biggest portion of my income?
Yes, and which one you like more, disadvantages and advantages for each one of them?
I think the one I probably like the most is coaching. I love to work with people. I love to help people. The advantage of that is to be able to help people's business grow. Of course, the disadvantage is it's the most hands-on, so it takes up the most of your physical time. With building websites and even e-commerce platforms like Amazon FBA, I love doing it because it allows you to leverage your time. So literally, as I'm doing this interview, I'm actually making money. People are buying products. They're going on my different websites. They're buying products from my Amazon FBA store. And so it gives you a lot of flexibility when it comes to making money. And you have the ability to put in the time once and potentially make money over and over, which is always beneficial when you're trying to maximize your time.
How to build a niche website? What are niche websites or sites? And give us some examples of it.
Well, niche websites basically are a website built on a specific topic. So for example, one of my hobbies is fly fishing. So let's say you decided to build a website on fly fishing. You can actually produce content on that subject, get a domain, set up hosting, which is real simple to do nowadays, and then you can actually produce content on that topic, drive traffic to your website many different ways through paid marketing or social media marketing. Organically, you can grow that site, and you can also monetize that site. So there's many ways to monetize sites, whether it be Amazon Associate, Google AdSense, physical products, even ClickBank and other marketing offers, so you can put digital products on it. So it really opens a lot of doors for somebody who they have skills or they have a lot of knowledge on a specific topic, but maybe they're trying to figure out how to make money with that topic. Well, this is a great way to be able to do that.
How long it takes, like with this crowded now environment of the internet marketing and websites, how long it takes for a niche website managed by one person to take off?
I always recommend people to give at minimum of 6 months. The biggest problem people have is they give up too soon. They don't have the instant gratification, so they quit. The key is the content. So if you produce quality content, like for myself, I produce a lot of YouTube videos and other content, blog posts, and a lot of that stuff didn't really make me money in the beginning, but the key is to continuously do it. So I would recommend to somebody who's looking to get into niche websites or anything like that to give it at minimum of 6 months and assume you're going to make nothing. If you do, that's a bonus, but you really want to gain that authority and become someone who's known on that topic and let money come second. That's a big mistake a lot of people make, and you want to bring your passion to the table, your knowledge, your skills, and then the money will come after that.
When did you start the reselling like adventure? When did you discover that?
I discovered that I was actually still working at the time. I discovered that about 5 years ago. And I started going to auctions. So I really loved going to auctions, find all these collectibles, antiques, vintage stuff. My wife got involved. We had a lot of fun doing it. It was just kind of a hobby, something to do once in a while. We got some really cool auctions in my area. And so I started going to those, and I realized quickly that you can go to platforms like eBay and even Amazon, and you can resell some of this stuff. And I was buying stuff for just a couple of dollars and reselling it for $20 or $40. And it really, something kind of clicked that there really is something here when it comes to e-commerce online.
So you started with physical, like, offline auctions, and then you buy stuff and you sell it online.
Yeah, that's where I started with eBay.
So what's the difference between Amazon and eBay, and which one you prefer?
I prefer Amazon FBA because it gives you more, like I said, semi-passive income opportunities. So eBay is a very hands-on platform. You buy the product, you list the product. When it sells, you've got to ship it. With Amazon FBA, the great thing about it is you have to go out and source the product, but once you've done that, you send it to them and they take care of all the shipping, all the customer service. They pretty much take care of all that. And
so
the
in
amazing
eBay, there is
about,
no shipping involved?
Well, there is. You have to actually physically ship it. So with Amazon, they do all that for you. With eBay, when a product sells, so like I've had big storage sheds and things like that full of eBay products, and so when they sell, then I've got to pick the products every morning, bring them to my office, and package them and ship them out. With Amazon, you send them big boxes of all your different products, and then when they sell, Amazon takes care of all the shipping.
So you have to send it in advance, or they collect after the sale from you and then they ship it?
You send it in advance. So currently I've got over 7,000 items in Amazon warehouses around the United States, and you send it in advance. So my products are sitting at different Amazon warehouses, and when they sell, Amazon will just ship them out just like if they ship out any of the other products.
And how the process works, like they check your item, it has to be new or used, and usually they list it online after they receive the item from you, or how it works?
Well, typically how it works is you buy the product, you've got to list it in your inventory. So you'll need to list it in your inventory, and then you'll ship it to the Amazon warehouses. So you'll list everything in your inventory, you'll package it up, you'll ship it to whatever warehouses.
Listed sorry to cut you off. Listed in your inventory means like listed on your account on Amazon, or where you listed in your inventory, and how you ship it to them?
Yeah, you have an account on Amazon to be able to sell. So it's a professional seller's account, and you'll list it in there. So basically the process is I have a barcode scanner. You literally scan the barcode, you scan it into their system, you put in what the product is, the description, everything like that. And a lot of products are already in there, or you can create your own listing. Once you get the product in to your inventory, then Amazon tells you what warehouses they want you to send it to. You put a label on each one of your products. You put them in a box. I typically ship them UPS. Here in the United States is a very popular carrier. UPS, they've got a partner rate where you ship as low as 50 cents a pound. So it's a really, really good deal. And basically you fill your boxes and you ship them out to Amazon. Once Amazon gets them, then your listing goes active. Then it's for sale on Amazon's website.
You pay for UPS?
Yes, but it's very, very affordable.
What's the difference? What is Amazon FBA? You mentioned Amazon FBA a lot, and what's the difference between Amazon FBA and Amazon Associates?
So Amazon FBA, they're actually your product. So whenever somebody goes to Amazon.com and buys something Prime, a lot of times those are third-party sellers like myself. Now with Amazon Associate, it's the same thing. It's actually Amazon products, and I've got websites with Amazon Associate products on them. But the great thing about Amazon Associate program is it gives you a commission based on any products you sell. So for example, somebody could set up a website, put a whole bunch of different products, let's say in the sporting goods niche. They can go on Amazon, they can pick all these different products from sporting goods, they can list them on an Amazon Associate site. When people buy those, they get a commission. So the Associate program allows you to make a commission off any product on Amazon. The FBA program, they're actually your physical products that you purchase and send to the warehouses.
And you can make through the Amazon Associates a commission from your FBA products, or you cannot?
No, I wouldn't recommend doing that. They frown on that, so you don't want to double up. You want to keep them separate. For Associate, I recommend using other people's product, and for FBA, then they're your products.
For people who starting in Amazon FBA, what's the requirement, and how they should expect to make, like when they should expect to make money, and how much within within a year?
Well, I mean, the opportunities really are really big right now with the growth of e-commerce. So all you need to get started is a pro seller account is what I recommend. And that's $39.99 a month. So basically $40 a month. And from there, as far as tools and everything, Amazon has a free app. It's called the Amazon Seller app, which you can download to any Android or iOS phone. And you can actually go out and scan products. Then from there, you need to decide what type of product. So you literally can go to retail stores, like big box stores, Walmart's, Targets, scan products. You can find an imbalance in the market, and you can buy products that way. Personally, I buy a lot of stuff wholesale and do a lot of private label product creation. So there's a lot of different opportunities. People will even go to thrift stores and find products. I mean, it really opens up a lot of doors for Amazon FBA. And as far as how much you can make, it really depends on how much inventory and how quickly you push. So like I said, I coach a lot of people, and I've had a lot of clients get to the point where they're having $10,000 to $20,000 in sales within their first 6 months. So sales, typically you can look at profit margins being about a third. How it works on Amazon is, on average, you want to sell something that's 3 times your money. So for a quick example, if you buy a product for $5, you want to be able to sell it for at least 15. So with that being said, if you're doing, let's say, if you're doing 15,000 in sales, you're going to be making at least 5,000 in profit. Now that's the base strategy. I also teach people how to get their profit margins higher. But so, I mean, realistically, you can scale it up pretty quick.
How much Amazon is making out of that?
Well, Amazon typically a third. So the way you want to look at it, if you got $5 into a product, you get your $5 back. You make about $5 in profit, and then Amazon gets about $5. Their fees are based on, they've got roughly a $4 base fee. So that's why I recommend to people selling products of $12 or more. I don't recommend a lot of $5, $6, $7, $8 products because you won't make very much profit. But their base fee is roughly $4. So if you look at that plus their commission, typically their fees run right around a third. And then depending upon how much you have in your product is going to depend on how much profit. So on the low side, I always tell people 3 times your money. $5 profit, get your $5 back, and then Amazon gets 5. So about 3, break it in 3 equal parts.
If you are selling a certain product, let's say a pen, and is like based on the barcode, Amazon will match it with other pens on the same, like on their site, or how it works? Like, you have to study the market, how much is this item selling for on Amazon before you set your price, or how usually it works?
Yeah, so for me personally, I do a lot of market research on different categories that I sell a lot of products in. But if you, based on the barcode, if you were to scan something and it's already in the catalog, there could be one person selling it, or there could be hundreds of people selling it, depending upon the type of the product. So then what you're going to want to do is study the market and make sure there's enough potential profit for that product. And so for each individual product, there's a lot of openings and a lot of potential in e-commerce right now. But for each individual product, you're going to want to make sure that you can buy the product for X amount and there's enough meat on the bone for you to make a profit. And some products there are, some products there are not.
What's the difference between Amazon seller account versus pro seller account versus merchant fulfilled?
Okay, so with a pro seller account, like I was saying, you spend $39.99 a month and you could list unlimited basically. So that 39 gives you unlimited sales capacity, and I think you start out with roughly 5,000. You can list 5,000 items, and then once you hit that point, you can actually have it extended. A merchant fulfilled is someone who lists on Amazon, but like eBay, when the product sells, you actually ship it out. So there's a lot of people who will buy a product, they'll list it merchant fulfilled, and you can actually, when it sells, you can ship it directly to the customer. And then a regular Amazon FBA account costs you $1 per item to list. But so if you're brand new, that's an option. But if you're going to list more than 40 items, I always recommend people get a professional account, because then it doesn't cost, it's just a $40 a month flat fee.
How to create the Amazon FBA? These are the different 3 accounts is for the Amazon FBA?
Yeah, I mean, for Amazon seller accounts, these are the 3 options.
And usually, like, which products you prefer, like, or you recommend for the people that you coach to sell on Amazon?
Well, sometimes it depends on the time of the year, because other products do good different times of the year. But products that I would call evergreen, you can do good year round, are things people need on a consistent basis. So I sell everything from health and beauty products to fitness products and sporting goods. I sell a lot of toys. I sell a lot of small electronics, and I sell a lot of organizational items. So a lot of products that people use in their home for organizational stuff, and even green energy. I've done, energy efficient light bulbs, solar power products. There's really a lot of opportunities in all these different categories right now.
And how usually, like how big is your inventory? How long you keep the item? Because at the end of the day, you will manage again a company that you need to manage the inventory. You know how much you keep, how much you buy, how things is going on, and how many people is helping you.
So I actually utilize virtual assistants typically, and we've got an inventory right now of just over 7,000 products for Amazon, and I primarily utilize virtual assistants to help me. We run our business as a family business, so myself and my wife, she helps out a lot, and then we're actually just bringing on our first employee. We moved into a commercial building recently, and we're bringing on our first employee in the month of March. And so as far as managing it, Amazon does have what's called long-term storage fees. And the reason they have this, primarily they don't want you just to drop off a bunch of stuff, hope it sells, but make them deal with it and them liable for it. So how it works is they implement what's called long-term storage fees every 6 months. Now the Amazon system has what's called a seller rank. So they've got a numeric ranking system. Each product has a number attached to it. So this is also something that new sellers learn about the sales rank when they're first getting started. It's kind of a guide on how frequently the product sells and whether or not you even want to buy this product. So based on that, we've set our inventory up where we turn most of our products every 30 to 90 days is our goal. And then after 90 days, we put our products automatically on sale. So we pretty much blow them out, and that way we're not dealing with them long term.
Is like people outside the US can utilize Amazon and still sell products on Amazon?
Absolutely. Yeah, I've even worked with clients in Australia, the United Kingdoms, a lot of different places, and there's a lot of people outside of the US. Amazon's always growing. They're one of the largest websites in the world, and I think they're number 6 right now, and so they're always expanding their market. So they're in a lot of countries right now.
So even if there is no Amazon in these countries, let's say you're selling from somewhere in Africa for Amazon in the US, but the problem is I think the shipping cost will be more to ship the items, right?
Yeah, so that's the one issue, is you got to really watch the shipping costs. Now, there is one way around that. Amazon will actually label each one of your products for 20 cents an item. So one option that you do have is you can potentially buy from a certain manufacturer. So I buy from different companies all around, United States and China and different places. You can buy from manufacturer, have them directly shipped to Amazon, Or there are also third-party fulfillment centers where, let's say you're in Africa, you can ship directly to. I've got a few clients where I've set up systems where they actually are in foreign countries that don't have a lot of shipping options. So they ship from the manufacturer to a fulfillment center or to Amazon, and they kind of outsource the processing, listing, labeling work. And that way they're still able to gain the benefits of Amazon. And in their case, it's pretty much a very semi-passive income. They never even see the products, but they still have the benefits of utilizing Amazon's platform.
What's retail arbitrage and why you buy products at night?
So retail arbitrage is basically you can go to big box stores, so Walmarts and Targets and Rite Aids and all these different big box stores, and you can buy products. Now, the reason it's so effective is because different parts of the country and different parts of the world, there's an imbalance in price. The exact same product is going to cost more in New York, less in my area, a totally different price in San Francisco. So having these fluctuations in the market allows you to be able to actually buy products at retail stores and turn around and sell them on Amazon. And it's a very, very profitable way to earn an income. And it's actually something I did a lot of when I was first getting going on Amazon, and I still utilize this practice today. Now, the reason I buy at night, I've actually gained a lot of relationships with some of these stores, and I learned that if you treat their workers like people too, they're not just $10 an hour workers, they're people trying to earn a living and support their family. So I'll go there at night when all the managers and the big bosses are gone. And at night is typically when they get all their products. So when they get their product in, here in the States and in a lot of other places, a lot of stores are open 24 hours nowadays. So I'll go between 10 p.m. and 2 or 3 a.m. when they're getting all these new products in and they're just putting them on the shelf, when they're putting all the other products on clearance, and I'll basically have first dibs. And working for myself, I have the flexibility to sleep when I want or work when I want. So having that, I'll bring these guys some coffee and some donuts, and I'll talk to them, what are you getting in, what products? They'll tell me what they got coming in. They kind of give me a heads up, and by going at night, they just put the stuff on the shelf. So when they got new stuff coming out, I can get it on Amazon quicker than a lot of people because I'm at these products first. So it's really a great strategy to be able to use.
Like the concept looks like in terms of leverage is crazy that you can scale it to a huge company. So why did it took you 5 years so far, and now you're hiring your first employee offline? Why did you didn't leverage it into bigger company, like you have employees and you understand the process? Some people do the purchasing, some people do the listing, some people do the labeling. What was your let's say obstacles to implement that?
Well, my biggest obstacles to implement that is I haven't really gone full bore on Amazon because I've built multiple little niche companies along the way. And I think that while I think it's an amazing opportunity, the one thing is you can actually grow this thing pretty large without employees, which is kind of nice. But also, I used to run a big consulting company with over 100 employees, so I've always tried to stay as lean as possible. I've seen all the corporate waste and all the extra people and making this company made $600 million to make to keep 50 at the end of the year. So a lot of this waste, I really wanted to run as lean as possible. I'm a big fan of running a lean company. So I actually do have 4 virtual assistants that help me out a lot with a lot of these different tasks, which allowed me to scale fairly decent size. But I think that's my overall mission, is to only have 2 or 3 employees, be able to treat them very well and give them a very high paying job. For the local market might be $12, maybe I can pay them 20, but focus my time on a couple select people and help grow up there. So you can actually scale this out with maybe a couple employees or even some virtual assistants, or if you decided to build a giant company around it, that's an option as well.
Can you take us through the 5 years of income and net profit? And you can skip this question if you want.
Well, when I first started, I actually had a job, and so it was kind of a side business. So the first year, I really was just making money pretty much on the side. I don't know all the numbers offhand, for the last 5 years, but I will say, I can't say the exact numbers, but I will say that it only took me 2.5 years to get to the point where I was making beyond 6 figures. And now, I mean, it's to the point where I'm doing really, really good. My income goal for this year is 500,000 in profit. That's my goal for profit, and I've got a good chance at hitting that. So, I mean, realistically, for somebody who's out there looking to scale something up, or somebody's out there looking for an opportunity, the ability to grow something like this into a six-figure business is a very realistic option if they put in the work. This is a business that takes work, whether it be niche websites, Amazon FBA, or any of these things I'm talking about. But if you put in the work, you have the ability to make a very good income within a reasonable amount of time.
How many professional resellers on Amazon now? Not the people like just selling products, extra products from home, or like the professionals resellers like yourself. And because I don't see this market is so crowded than comparing with, let's say, the internet marketing market.
Exactly. Well, Amazon, I don't know how many who are just is scaling it like myself, but Amazon says there's roughly 2 million people selling on FBA or on Amazon. The thing about that is there's only a small percentage of that 2 million who are actually treating it as a full-time business or making a reasonable amount of money. So the people who are actually implementing the type of practices that I am, I would wager that it's a fraction, maybe 5% of that tops. So it's still a very new market and a very new opportunity.
Do you recommend selling like used products or new products? And usually you send them the pictures, they take pictures and put it on the site. How it works?
So if a product is already on Amazon, you can do what's called piggybacking. You can actually use the listing that's already there and then just add your product, add the description. So if there's any damage or tears or any wear on the box per se, you can add that into the description. If the product is not there, then you'll need to create the entire listing and you'll need to provide at least one picture. And so you'll have to provide that. And they want you to actually take the picture. They don't want you to use any stock photos or anything like that.
For your 4 virtual assistants, what are you outsourcing to them in the process mainly?
So they do a few different things. The first thing they do is they do a lot of online research. And so I do a lot of sourcing online. Capitalize the power of wholesalers, do a lot of private label. And so with them, they do a lot of research. They do a lot of logistics. So I have products coming from China and other countries on a consistent basis. So they help me with that. They also help me with some of the listings. So when I do large, like let's say I buy 50 of an item or 200 or 500 of an item, they can help me create those listings, create everything, get everything set up. And they can also manage some of the logistics, whether it be I have products sent to my office here, or if I want them sent directly to another location. So they help me with a lot of that. I've also had virtual assistants do listing on eBay for me, and I've had virtual assistants help me with my marketing businesses as well. So they could really, even from, most of my virtual assistants are typically in the Philippines, but even from down there, they can help you with a big portion of this business.
So you don't use anyone in the US that you pay them to buy for your products or go to the retailers, or you do the purchasing mainly, but they just do the listing and the other stuff.
Yeah, so I guess I'm, pretty hands-on in that. You always think, when it's handling the money and stuff, you want to be the one doing it. So I'm pretty hands-on in that side when it comes to sourcing the products. But the great thing about them, they'll come to me with, 20 or 30 really, really strong options. They've done a lot of research. They know the numbers. They know the market. They can present me with all the documents, and then I can decide if I want to buy this product, or if I want to buy 100 of it, or if I want to buy 600 of it. So it really cuts out a lot of the time. I'm basically just making the final decisions in a lot of this stuff.
What is Kindle Publishing and how it works?
So Kindle Publishing is a great option whether you're a big known author or you're somebody who's trying to make little niche books. And so primarily with Kindle Publishing, what I do is just like with I was talking about niche websites, we create a lot of niche books on different topics. So whether it be get out of debt, whether it be trying to get more views on YouTube, it really could be anything. Again, it could be a hobby you have, and you can really solve a pain point for somebody. So a lot of people, if you've got a guide or a manual, or if you've got an issue and you've got a quick little guide or manual that can help you get the answers you're looking for, it's pretty valuable. And so Kindle Publishing, creating their platform, again, utilizing the power of Amazon and the fact that they have hundreds of millions of visitors on their website, you can actually put out these different books and earn an income from it. And typically we sell the books for $2.99, which is the standard price. And out of that $2.99, you get about $2.
You focus only on Amazon, or you put it in Smashwords, other places?
Primarily, I focus on Amazon, but I also use these books on other websites as well. So we'll put them on different websites and different programs that we're creating as well.
You publish directly on Amazon, or you use ACX service for distribution?
We publish directly on Amazon, so we're directly on Amazon Kindle. So when somebody goes to the Amazon Kindle website, they can find our books through search.
What's Project Reseller?
So Project Reseller was originally going to be a platform for resellers, and I've kind of tweaked the idea. I've been building the site behind the scenes. There's a site there now, but it's just kind of a holding place. I wanted to make a place where I can organize content for people who are just getting started. I get hundreds and hundreds of emails every single week from people from my YouTube channel to my different websites trying to get started in businesses, and Reseller is definitely a popular one. So Project Reseller ultimately is going to be a place for resellers to be able to come and get step-by-step information when they're first getting started. But recently I've also merged with a group called the Green Room, and so we're building out something similar. I merged with 4 other really popular resellers on YouTube like myself, and we're kind of merging our efforts together as well. But that's kind of my goal, is to be able to help as many people as possible. I have a firm belief that in 2015 there's no reason to have a job unless you want to have that specific job.
What is Mobile Click Code course?
So Mobile Click Code was actually a cool concept. It's still in beta, and it's going to the final version in the beginning of March. But what I wanted to do was create a course that could walk people step by step through building an email list, which is one of the most important assets of any business, in my opinion, is your direct connection to your subscribers or your audience. And so how to build an email list, a responsive one, how to cater to that list and provide value and not just be a one-sided relationship like a lot of internet marketers, and then how to build up the affiliate side, how to build up whether you want to build an Amazon store or whether you want to build a niche website. It really walks you through the actual process. And the cool thing about it is my subscriber base helped me build that course. And so I put it in beta and I launched it back in November. And it's 2 versions, and the second version is coming out in the beginning of March. And the cool thing about it is I built the first side, I've built the second side, and then I asked everyone, what do you want? And so it's not just what I think they want, but it's what they actually want. And I got a consensus from the hundreds of people who bought it. I think we've sold roughly 350 to 400. We've sold it 350 to 400 times in beta, and I haven't even sold it that well. I just kind of put it out there, and my core audience, I wanted to see exactly what they wanted. And so with the course, I put all this detailed information together for them, and I walked it through in all these different videos. But from there, I also put in everything they wanted as beginners. So it's really a cool little course.
How do you launch products and promote them efficiently online?
The best way is an email list, in my opinion. And I've built an email list of well over 60,000 people over the last 5 years. And again, it's an active list. And so out of those 60,000 people, there's probably been a couple 100,000 people, and people come and go. And anybody knows with email marketing that an active list and a responsive list is very important, because you pay for those people to literally be on that list through your monthly subscription. So email marketing is very valuable because it's a very direct connection. And then from there, I do a lot of video marketing. So I provide a lot of content through YouTube videos, and I've got a strong connection with my audience. And through that, I answer a lot of their questions. I answer 90+% of my comments. I answer a huge portion of my emails personally to make sure they're getting the answers they need. So really, I think the best way to launch any product nowadays is to have a connection with your audience. And a lot of people get confused and think you need to have millions and millions of people. Really, you need to have the right people and the core people. I'm a big believer in an article written by a guy named Kevin Kelly. And Kevin Kelly wrote 1,000 True Fans. Anybody who Googles it, they can read that. And I'm a big believer in that concept, 1,000 true fans are your core audience. So I market it primarily through email marketing and YouTube.
Don't you think like creating products online and this endless process of creating new products because of like the digital world is changing, don't you think is against the passive income model?
To a certain degree, but that's why I created Mobile Click Code, because I've done a lot of online products over the years, and they come and go. And so I found that statement that you just made very, very true. And so I wanted to make something like Mobile Click Code that was a little bit more evergreen, something that could last several years. And that's what I'm trying to accomplish with a course like this. And so then it can be passive and it can be something you can work on. Also, I'm building another course that is just about finalized. It's actually a Kindle course with a partner of mine. And with that course, we're actually building it to where it updates every month. And so it's continued education. So I think that's a good way to, yes, there is some work that is put in play, but it's very valuable because people are drawn to something that grows with them and expands with them. So I think as opposed to throwing up the same old stale information and hoping it sells for 5 years when it typically doesn't, if you make something that grows with the audience and grows with the market, that's a potential way. And only making a few videos a month, you can set these processes up to where it's still pretty passive.
What's your views on SEO off page and on page, and does it work? Is it working now? And like because of all of these changes with Google?
It works. It doesn't work as good as it once did. When I first got started internet marketing in 2008, and I was very public about 2008, 2009, I failed miserably. I tried to do all the different SEO tricks and all that stuff, and it worked a lot better than for other people, clearly not myself. But it works now, but I think being an authoritative figure, really putting out quality content is above any SEO. I think it'll always triumph any of that than people trying to put stuff out and then try to do little SEO stuff. Keywords really are very important. So if you're going to do anything, having good quality keywords would be very important. And then putting out consistent content and becoming known for whatever type of content or type of products you're putting out is probably the most important.
How do you manage your time and stay productive and motivated?
Well, I've got a lot of inner motivation. I just love what I do. I've wanted to be an entrepreneur since I was a kid. I used to sell, lemonade and mow lawns and do all those different things. So I'm always a very motivated person. Managing time is tough because I've got 2 small daughters. I've got a kid, my third kid will be my first son, is due in April. So 3 kids, a wife, a business, and a life. So I'm very schedule oriented. I'm one of those people who schedule things out, plan things out. I've actually got a whole planning station here in my office where I plan everything out, and I'm always a couple of months ahead. And I'm one of those people who can stick to what I decide and say I'm going to do. But for me, I live by my Google Calendar and my schedules.
Best Amazon plugins for WordPress.
Best Amazon plugins. Well, there's several different plugins that'll allow you to create associate websites. But I would watch a lot of the plugins. I would recommend just buying an actual associate theme. So if you're going to do an Amazon, website or like an affiliate site where you can utilize Amazon Associate, I would actually buy a theme that matches your niche before a plugin. With plugins, I mean, you want to have SEO plugins like, and you want to have...
Amazon, specifically Amazon plugins, like plugins that helps you sell products through Amazon or through Audible.
Oh, personally, I don't use any. I use no Amazon plugins because I drive traffic directly for these niches, so I don't rely on any plugins.
And traffic, you use PPC when you launch a certain niche site, or like what you do mainly?
Yeah, I use pay-per-click campaigns, and so there's several different sites I use, whether it be Facebook, Google AdWords, or there's a lot of smaller ones like AdFly and 7Search, and a lot of really good PPC campaigns that target that niche. And so I'm very niche-oriented. So if it's fishing, or if it's workout stuff, or if it's products for reselling, like for Project Reseller, it's actually somewhat of a niche site because I've got a whole list of all the products I utilize, and I drive traffic to that, and when people buy those, I get a commission. And so I drive traffic based on each individual niche.
Any other projects that you're currently working on or for the future that you can share with us?
I'm working on a couple of different things. I'm actually building on my main website, freelancerangler.com. I'm building a I'm calling it the Freelance Wrangler School, and I'm actually taking people through the process. I built like a guild membership site where I take people through the process of creating products. So creating their own products. I recently got into 3D printing, so I bought some 3D printers and things like that, and I'm doing a lot of mock-ups and product creation. So on Freelance Wrangler, I'm actually going to be taking people through the process of how to private label and create their own products to be able to sell on their own website or platforms like Amazon FBA. And then another project, like I was saying, the Green Room. So we run a Facebook group, me and 4 other people. We run a Facebook group called the Green Room, and we're building that into a interactive website and a community for resellers as well. So a couple really exciting projects coming up.
How much is your courses cost, and how much do you charge for consulting per hour?
So for the courses, Mobile Click Code is currently $97, and the Kindle Business Academy, which is coming out, that one is going to be $97 as well. And then we've got a monthly community and a bunch of other monthly stuff that we're updating. So it's got a monthly program that's $27 as well if somebody chooses to. For coaching, I've actually been running a really good deal for my reselling clients. I was doing $297 for an 8-week basically program where I lay out the program for them and I help them jumpstart their business. Like I said, I've had a lot of people hit sales numbers of 10, 20, and way higher numbers, but I don't want to oversell the process. But I've had a lot of people hit 10, 20,000 in a few months or beyond on that. And then with marketing, I run several, marketing groups. I run a couple Mastermind groups in internet marketing. And so it really based on, I usually prefer to do programs as opposed to per hour, because I find that if I can help them with accountability, they might actually take action. I used to do a lot of hourly coaching, but I'd follow up with people and I would find out that they, didn't take the advice or things like that. So I like to build a package for somebody and help them actually walk them to their goals, as opposed to just give them a bunch of information and it's on them. I'd rather have that long-term relationship with the client or the person than try to charge them a bunch of money for a couple hours of my time and never see them again.
But is there like a package for this long-term like membership, or like, let's say, Mastermind? Is there an open Mastermind that you accept students in now, or like experts?
There is. It's coming back up in May. So we do it a couple of times a year, and I announce it on freelancewrangler.com. And me and a couple of other internet marketers, we run this usually 2 to 3 times per year, and we'll open it up and we'll bring some people in. So it'll be announced in May on freelancewrangler.com.
What is your daily routine when you wake up in the morning until you sleep?
Well, my first hour or so is very important to me because I get a little bit of time without kids. And the benefit of my life is I get my kids all the time because I've actually built an area out of my office where they got flat screens and coloring stuff and all their stuff. So my first hour is very important, and typically I like to read. I read a lot of business books. I like to drink my tea. Whatever it is about tea, it just calms me down. And then I typically will meditate for about 10 minutes to get in the right state of mind. And I've been doing that for a while now, and it's really helping. And then from there, one of my big hobbies is martial arts. And so I'll go and I'll otherwise go to the gym, or I've got a few people here in the local Spokane area where I practice martial arts with as well. So I try to get those done right in the morning so I can get, the blood flowing, get a lot of energy, be ready to go.
What
and
time?
Then from there, typically I'll wake up between 5 and 7. Depends on what time I went to bed. I'm a night owl, so I might go to bed between midnight and 2 or 3 in the morning. I don't sleep a lot, but I get a lot of really good quality sleep, I believe. So, and if I need a nap in the afternoon, I have the ability to do that as well. But then once I do that, I come into the office, and like I said, depending upon if I'm working with clients or if I'm working on websites or what, I could be working on a million different projects. And typically my daily routine is when I get home, I'll take my daughters to school, drop them off, come to the office. Myself and my wife both work in our office, so I got my office here, hers is down the hall. And then we just start on our projects. And typically, because we love what we do, we find we spend a lot of time here. So we built out the environment. And I'm a big believer of environment is very important. Everything from, I got a little putting green right over here, a little golf putting thing. I've got, some punching bags and stuff over there. I really set up my office to be a place I want to be. And I find your surroundings are very, very important. That's one of the big downfalls in the corporate world. Is your surroundings. And so from there, we'll work from, we'll pick up our daughters in the afternoon and they'll come back, but we'll work till 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in the evening. Depends on what we're working on. And then in the evening, I typically wind down, do stuff with my daughters. We'll go out and we'll get ice cream, or we'll go to the park, or we'll do whatever we end up doing, and then I'll call it a day and do it again the next day.
What are the must use softwares that you cannot live without and that makes you more efficient?
Well, I do a lot of stuff with Google Drive because we do a lot of file sharing. We actually built in a CRM, so there's a lot of good programs like Trello and things like that, but we actually use Sugar CRM, so we built that in so we actually can manage all of our different projects with myself, my wife, my virtual assistants. We use Slack for communicating, so slack.com for communication. That works really well. Of course, Skype, because I talk to a lot of clients, so Skype's important. And I'm pretty much a minimalist when it comes to a lot of this stuff because I don't believe in overcrowding. But I use a lot of the simple stuff that most other people do. And then on my phone, the Amazon Seller app, like I was saying, because that's a free scanning app. So anyone getting into Amazon, the Amazon Seller app is a phenomenal app to use as well.
Top 3 mentors.
Top 3 mentors, well, they don't know it, but top 3 mentors would probably be Tim Ferriss. His book, 4-Hour Workweek, literally changed my life. Went from somebody who had a very successful, reasonably successful construction company in my early 20s to somebody who does what I love to do now and have a lot of passive income and different opportunities. And I owe a lot of that to the 4-Hour Workweek. So Tim Ferriss, probably I would have to say James Altucher. His podcast has really brought a lot of light on a lot of amazing stuff. I love his writings and his podcasts, things of that nature. And then Gary Vaynerchuk is somebody I aspire. I actually recently in 2015 kind of been structuring my business, and I'm building out my media company right now. And I study a lot of Gary Vaynerchuk because I love what he's been able to accomplish and a lot of the things that he's done. So those are 3 people I really look up to.
If you are starting again today with like $100 or $2,000, you will start with reselling products or with a niche website or blog?
Well, if I had $1,000, I could do both. If I was starting with, $100, I would probably start with reselling on Amazon FBA because it would probably give you the quickest results because you already have all that traffic, you already have all those eyeballs. So really your big goal would be to buy products that'll sell quickly and you can start building a snowball of your sourcing fund. So Amazon FBA would probably be quicker, but for long term, I'm a firm believer in having your own website or your own platform. Because that's something that you own and is yours. And so I would, if I had $1,000 and I was just starting, I would do both. I'd probably split 500 down the middle. If I only had, let's say, $100 or even $20, I would start with Amazon FBA and grow that up and go from there.
No, you didn't get an offer from, let's say, some retailers to open their inventory to you and it tells you sell it for us, or test with selling some of it for us without charging you anything and just giving you a commission.
If that happened, what would I do?
No, I mean, no one have proposed that for you?
Oh, I've had people come to me with specific products. So I've had people say, well, I've got this product. Can you bring it to market for me? We'll work out a deal. I've had a lot of that. My big thing is quality products, because you got to have something that'll actually sell. If you create a product, of course, you're going to think it's amazing, but you have to understand the market and what actually sells and what does well. So if somebody came to me with a deal like that, and that's happened many, many times, typically I start with market research, but some of them have worked out well. I've done that a few times.
Have you created your brand in some products that you branded in China or somewhere, like you asked the manufacturer to put your name in it, or you just sell products that's been there before, or brands?
Well, actually, I finally started doing that. So I've made several brands. I've branded several products, but I wanted to bring them all together. So I'm currently working on a website called beastmodebusiness.com, and it's going to go live early this spring after my son's born, but I'm actually building it on my YouTube channel. So I've done 6 or 7 videos so far. I'm showing people the whole process of how to build a niche website, how to build an e-commerce website. I'm showing them exactly what I do in this process, and I'm going to make all my branded products public this spring. So I am actually in the process of doing that.
3 most important factors for success in 3 words.
3 most important, consistency. I mean, consistency sums up pretty much everything. That's probably the most important factor to my success. Going from a high school dropout to successful, consistency is everything.
What's the biggest failure moment in your life and what did you learn from it?
The biggest failure moment in my life, a couple of years ago, I was building some software, the software program, and it was kind of a scraper program for leads. And I went into something in the dark with people I shouldn't have went into it with. I lost a fair amount of money doing it, but what I learned from it was you can't do all things. I mean, my biggest downfall, probably one of my biggest weaknesses, is sometimes I can be overly hands-on, and I certainly was in that project when I shouldn't have been, and it ended up costing me a couple relationships. Well, I mean, for all intents and purposes, but ultimately it cost me a lot of money as well, and I learned that sometimes you got to let go. You got to loosen up on the reins, and you got to put faith in other people as well.
Top 3 apps that you use on your smartphone.
Top 3 apps, well, the Amazon Seller app would certainly be one. Depends on what I'm doing. I would say YouTube, Amazon Seller, because being a YouTube creator, I use the YouTube Studio app all the time. Amazon Seller, I actually had to look here real quick, and probably GetResponse, so managing my email list. Those would probably be the top 3.
How do you change your mood when you're depressed? What do you do?
I go and spend, that happens a fair amount, and so I go and spend time with my 2 daughters, 4 and 7. They'll cheer you up really, really quick.
What's the best advice that you have ever received?
Best advice I ever received, I kind of talked about a few minutes ago, was go into something for the love of it, with passion and with everything you got. And if you do that and you have you want to help people, you want to create something that can help people, and you love what you do, you're passionate about what you do, then things will come full circle for you. And don't expect instant gratification or immediate results. And a couple people I worked with talked to me about that when I was first getting going, because I got real frustrated and I'd try something, I'd walk away from it, I'd give up on it. And I found from doing that, it changes everything.
If you have the chance to advise your younger self, what would you advise your younger self?
To slow down, to not think that you have to conquer the whole world or be perfect in your early 20s. To tell myself to take each day for what it is and to be happy with what you got in that moment, and not always be planning where you'll be at 30, 35, 40, but to live each day for what it is.
What's your favorite quote?
My favorite quote is probably, I might butcher it sadly, it's, if you can fail at what you don't want to do, you might as well take a chance at what you love to do. And I heard Jim Carrey actually say that in a commencement speech at a big college, and that resonated with me. I've heard that quote a few times, but it really resonates with me. A lot of people thought I was crazy for quitting a really, really good job to start some online businesses, but quotes like that really resonate. Why would I have a job when I could lose this job? Even though it's a good job, pays a lot of money, I could fail at this. So why not strike out at what I love to do? What's the worst that can happen?
Top 3 favorite books.
Well, again, I got to go to the 4-Hour Work Week. I got to say, recently, the Lean Startup, I really, really enjoyed. I'm reading that again, the Lean Startup. And a classic that really changed my life when I was younger would be Rich Dad, Poor Dad. That story and that concept really resonated well with me. So those would be 3 big ones. But I love so many, but those would be 3 that come to mind.
Top 3 people that you're inspired by.
Tony Robbins is very inspirational as a coach and a mentor to people, very inspirational. Tim Ferriss inspires me in a lot of ways. Even though I don't inspire to have a business like what he does, he inspires me in a lot of ways. And somebody who inspires me more in the similar niches that I'm in, maybe not a reseller, but with internet marketing, just building content, would be Pat Flynn from the Smart Passive Income. He's somebody I've looked up to a lot. I'm actually creating a podcast that is finally coming out. I've been working on forever, and he was one of my big inspirations. So I really, really think a lot of Pat Flynn as well.
Do you listen to any music when you work?
I'm primarily listen to podcasts, but I do listen to some music once in a while.
What makes you really happy?
Spending time with my wife and my kids.
Last question, how people can contact you?
The best way is freelancewrangler.com. They can contact me through there. If you type in Cody Hawk in YouTube, you'll get a whole bunch of videos. I'm Cody H. Hawk on Facebook or Cody H. Hawk on Twitter.
Thank you so much, Cody, for your time. Really, and this valuable information. Really appreciate it.
I appreciate you having me on.
Thanks everyone. Be efficient and stay efficient, and see you soon with another leading expert.